Okay, I'm live. Figured I'd start just a little early. And let me get that. Control C, Control B, Control C. There we go. And then I better go and mute that. There we go. Alrighty. I think I can like my own video. Whee! Well, good morning, everybody. I am live at the Edge Fitness. Started a little early. It's 9:40 a.m. Central Time. I have the link on the chat if you want to join me here on StreamYard. It's one of the reasons I use this. It's great to have special guest stars on there. I have had, let me check my signal here. Actually, I can just pop here and see how it's going. Looks like it's a little skippy here. Yeah, it looks like it's a little blurry. Let's check, and I see why. I'm hooked up to the wrong thing. Okay, hopefully that is better. We'll see. I got the circle of death. There, now I think I'm back on. Come on. Let's move. Freeze frame, perfect. Let me know if I'm coming through okay. Connection is unstable if you're on Wi-Fi. Try plugging in your router closer to it. Usually it's not an issue, but it seems to be an issue today. Yeah, definitely an issue. Well, that's why I start these things early. So we'll go to from the 5G and we'll connect. Now I don't see the signal getting any better, but I am moving. So maybe I just got to disconnect a few things. Bear with me. I didn't try to enter me at all. Okay, so I am live here. Oh, signal is improved. I got 2 bars now. And just warming up here on bench day. Just getting the blood moving, which is always a good thing. If you're joining in, let me know how my audio and video is. The only thing when you are, wow, that's a big delay. When you are sitting there doing StreamYard, it does eat up on the signal just a little bit. But see, you got 5 people watching, Does it show who's watching? And 4 others. So thanks for live. We're going to have special guest here, Jason from the Angry Prepper, also Angry Fitness Prepping. He's in the fitness also, and he has a different way of doing things. And he'll be joining us here in about 15 minutes. Hopefully my signal will strengthen by then. And if I have to, I may just have to move the direction that I do the video from and get me closer to the router, which I might just do that now and get that knocked out of the way and see if that improves. So we'll see if that helps things. Hey, Steve. Thanks for joining in. We need a special guest this morning. And pre-workout I'm using today. Seems okay. Well, watching bits and pieces that I'm working out as well. Cool. So new product. It's 747 style supplements. A friend of mine, Mark, is taking this on. It's being sold out of Nutrition Direct. So you can go online and you can use the code MacBean15 for a 15% discount.
45.
15. So, hey, Fabian, how we doing? Glad that you got my shirt. We'll have a, there we go. We'll have a special guest on here in about 15 minutes. The Angry Prepper. He also has another channel called Angry Fitness Prepping. He went on a mile hike with a backpack this morning, and he had his premiere on that. So if you watch that, also I caught John at Prepper Nation, and watched him this morning. And it was time to chug down a weight gaining protein shake, which they say use 4 scoops. There ain't no way you can mix up 4 scoops in a glass of milk. It becomes pudding. So I usually do a scoop and a half, but I want to get me a really good mixer or blender or something that's going to help with that. So saying that, I'm going to check my phone and make sure I'm not getting any emails going, hey, John, whatever they might say. Everything looks pretty cool there. And let me see. Oh, yeah. So, shout out to my subs already joining in here. Got Steve Lyons here. Virginia Bushcrafter, hello. Thanks for joining in. Mason usually stops in. Michael might be sleeping after this bus route, or he might catch it here a little bit later. And those magic fat loose pills. Yeah, those pills don't exist, or they're very dangerous. I know somebody who lost weight by the use of speed, but his nervous system suffered greatly because of that. So eat less calories than you burn, and over time, that's how it happens. I'm actually trying to put on weight. I got too skinny. Real world problems.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta warm up here. And time to add weight.
that was him. Me and my girl. If you got something in there, I appreciate that. I mean, only a friend of you.
So,
That's what I was wondering because, I mean, yes, pre-workout.
no, it's not necessary.
It's necessary.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
I
All of them.
when I have them, when I have pre-workouts, I take them. Product my buddy's doing, which has got a lot of good stuff in it. It's only got 200 milligrams of caffeine. A lot of them will have twice that much or 3 times that much, which really just gets your heart racing.
See, and that's what I don't want. If there was a natural one, because I'm not supposed to coffee.
Well, coffee's got the caffeine, but you could actually just, take a lot of B6 and B12 before you come in, about an hour before you come in with food. So if you're eating breakfast, get a B complex, multivitamin.
I take B12.
Right, B12 and B6 will raise your energy level. That's what those 5-hour energies are. Because they're just a super shot of B6 and B12.
So, okay.
And then
I don't
get
want anything caffeine, and I don't want sugar because I don't want the artificial. I don't want caffeine. I can't do because I have an ear issue, and caffeine will pull me. It does stuff to my ear. Anyway.
So you're saying it'll make you dizzy?
It'll make me dizzy. It'll make me sick.
That's not good. So I would stay away from it.
I want a little something, but.
So yeah, just a B6 and a B12 with your breakfast before you come in and work out. Will do great. But for us who want to get the caffeine rush, that's all right. They know I'm in a gym. We expect conversations. So most of our bench is 175, but start with 100 pounds. Great. 75% increase. And understand, you don't have to bench the heavy weights like me. You can just do lighter weights and more reps. And it's also going to be comparable to your body weight. Me pushing 400 at 240 pounds is probably equivalent to somebody pushing 300 at 125 pounds or 140 pounds. So it's all equivalent to your mass and what you're trying to do. Are you trying to get slim? Are you trying to get flexible? Are you trying to get toned? Are you trying to bulk up? Are you trying to get stronger? All those are going to be different workouts, and all of them are good for you. So don't be worried about what somebody else is doing in the gym. And if you don't know what to do in that, then I would get with a trainer. All right, and then the trainer will ask you what you're trying to accomplish, and then sit there and develop a meal plan and an exercise plan for you on that. I only knew of any trainers around here. Oh, wait a minute, there's one. So I got up there at 135. Stove's getting warmed up.
Well, I said 15. Oh, did you? Yeah, did you attend the first time?
Unless today I'm probably going to do more on the lighter side, just because I can. And let me see how I'm looking over on the other side here. Okay, wow. There we go. Oh, swimmer, not anymore. Well, you know how good swimming is for you. It's one of the better exercises for you because, first of all, if it's low impact on your joints because water's buoyant. A lot of people who have hips or knee problems or ankle problems, going in the pool and doing exercises in a pool is an excellent way of doing that. And with swimming, you're always working against, yourself because you're moving through water, you're walking through air. So, swimming is a fantastic, complete exercise. So, I highly recommend that. Just in case you happen to be in an area where your YMCAs usually have a pool. Some of your larger health clubs will have pools. Or if you live next to water, just don't feed the sharks. I used to live down in Florida and swim in the ocean all the time. And I had a porpoise pop up next to me because all I seen was a fin.
Yeah.
And caused a brief moment of panic. And then I realized it was a mammal, not a fish, you know. But then we started going up to Traverse City, and freshwater is so much better to be in because you don't get that salty, slime on you. But it's harder to swim in freshwater because the salt water actually buoys you more. Huh?
Because you're afraid you're gonna die.
That too.
The whole thing, you gotta look around for
Sharks, stingrays, jellyfish, barracudas.
It's about how far I get into it.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
But yeah, swimming is also an excellent way of exercising. So it's walking, hiking, jumping rope, jogging, speed walking. All those are good. I do go for hikes a couple times a week. It's usually at my morning walk and rant. I did one the other day. So if you want to hear some stronger opinions that I usually don't share during these live streams, that'd be a great time to do it. So I sure I got 8 people in here. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe if you like it, hopefully. And go ahead and pop in and say hello to everybody. Randy, you made it. Good morning. So I don't know if Jason's waiting for me to send him the link directly. Maybe he is. So if that's the case, I better pop into my. So let me see if I can compose a new one. Da-da-da-da. Well, it's pretty bad when you don't know how to. Well, I mean, compose. There we go. No, wrong person. Let's see if that'll help. So, guilty of strong opinions, yes, aren't we all? And usually those little rants that I do it, and I wait till I get, 10 minutes into the video before I go off on it. And I figure by then YouTube has stopped listening to my boring talk. Basically just about anybody else. But here at the gym, we're here about fitness and that. Probably going to do more warm-ups because I got here a little earlier than usual. So I got the opportunity where I can do more on the lower end and get more of a pump. And what I'll do is I'll probably, I'm multitasking.
I do have to run now. So I will see you later Monday.
You want my good first usually by 25. All right, have a good one.
I will.
I think the Angry Prepper's got a premiere starting on the same time as I am.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
So it might have to be later. We'll have to see how long this runs. So I think he's going to be, delayed. Looks like he's got a premiere going, so it doesn't mean he's got to be on that. He's just got to kind of be watching it. So much. I'll have to give it a like and see if he answers that. So Killing Girl, good morning. I'm not on the road, but listening. On the road again. So think Jason is getting his premiere started, and then hopefully he'll try to multitask over here because we're supposed to have him here at 10 o'clock this time, and we'll see what happens. Can't stay long. I was not feeling well yesterday. Do grocery shopping today. Hey, good morning, Little Miss Prepper. Well, I hope he feels better. I tell you, after I drank that weight gainer shake, it took about 15 minutes for my stomach to settle, but I needed the calories, so I did it. Yesterday was a Celtic Grandma. How we doing? Virginia, DLD After Dark. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. So I had a rough day yesterday. I got off of work at about midnight. Got to bed about 1 o'clock. Had to get up at 4 a.m. to take my wife to the airport up in Chicago. So there's 2 hours driving. Got her set up, through baggage and through security. And then I went to the gym out in Shorewood, Illinois. At Shorewood Fitness, and I worked out, and I came home. I got home about 11, ate, made my lunches, got about maybe a 15, 20-minute rest, and then I had my 10-hour day, and I tell you, by 7 o'clock in the evening, I was like, ooh. Hey, Ark Wildman, thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up, everybody. Thanks for stopping in the chat and saying hello. Appreciate that. All right, only got 3 thumbs up. Well, we can do better than that. And hopefully Jason will be able to join here in a little bit. He is running one of his premieres. And here. Trying to send some subtle hints. So while we're waiting, if somebody else wants to join in, all you have to do is click that link in comments I just popped in, and you can be part of the show. So I think with the internet I have, I could probably have up to about 3 guests, and then I'd probably have to upgrade, which I might do if I start doing more of this. Right now I'm just getting warmed up. Really quick, people ask about my pre-workouts. This is what I'm doing from 747 style supplements. It's got a lot of aminos that I take. And Mrs. Worm sent me an email that she is, or a comment I should say, she is going to be watching the telly. And and kind of, we watching that all day, so she's not going to be on the live stream today. So if you haven't heard, most people probably have, Queen Elizabeth passed away the other day. So, hey, Daryl, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. Remember, everybody, to hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, do good deeds for your neighbors, all that good stuff. Got another warm up now. Add weight. There we go. Popped it up to 185. I'm at the Angry Prepper too. Yeah, he's got his premiere going. Actually, I got it running. On my phone. Oh, and that's who we're waiting to join here. He's probably, I don't know how long this premiere is going to be. And he'll probably join us after the premiere. So I did hit the like. Yeah, I see a few of you on there also. But hope you feels better, Randy, and get some grocery shopping done. I tell you, we only grocery shop about once a week, and most of it's going to be like milk and eggs and sandwich meat. Everything else, I've gotten good quantity. But what I'll do is I will sit there and grab a can or two of Keystone meats to add to my preps. But right now I'm busy canning everything from the garden. And my oxygen absorbers arrived. So I had some flour in the freezer. So when I buy flour, I put it in the freezer for a couple days. Same thing with rice. And generally will kill anything that could possibly spawn. And then I put them into glass mason jars with oxygen absorbers for, oh my goodness, grilled London broil and pork steak chops, no flames. And why even cook if you're not going to have any flames? Got to have that searing flame. Just ain't steak and hamburgers. If you don't have flames, you just ain't doing it right. You know, if you're not losing hair on your arms, my opinion. Now, I do know, less is more. You don't have to. I got a brother-in-law puts a half a bag of charcoal on there, and then it's like, sear fry. Not with the flames. Yeah, I like to sear it with the flames. You get a quick 2-minute sear, and then I bring it off to the side and let it get the cooking from that way. But we all have our own. Just like with lifting and getting in shape, there are many ways of doing it, and all of them are good for you. So just let everybody know, if you do want to join this, you feel like you want to sit there and hop on a channel and come and talk, just click on that, and it's free. In a couple clicks, you can be in the studio and you can talk to everybody. So you can join me here at the Edge Fitness here in Streeter, Illinois. And I'm going to go add some water to this. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. I'm going to re-top off my pre-workout. Put it on, come back in the house. Yeah, I like to watch it with usually the spatula in one hand and the beer in the other. Randy, thanks for stopping in. Good seeing you again. Don't forget to hit the like button. And who knows how long this will go. Like I said, I got in here a little bit earlier. I don't know how well StreamYard is communicating with my YouTube. It only shows 3 likes there. And I think it only shows 3 people watching, and I've shown as many as 8 people here. I did invite my family to pop in. Good luck with that. So yesterday I did arms again. I'm really thinking that starting to crush the triceps a little harder should help with my bench. When I was always out at the shoulder fitness because I worked out that direction. Basically, I was doing arms twice a week. I was doing bench twice a week. I was doing back, and then shoulders and legs. And now that I'm working second shift in that, I'm still doing arms and shoulders and legs and that, but I'm doing them differently with outdoor weights and that, and I'm doing it with taking hikes, and still doing the bench, but I wasn't really getting the heavy tricep workouts in. And so I think that's one of the reasons, besides all the weight I lost, that my benches has kind of suffered. So I'm trying to get that corrected, and hopefully it will soon. If you have any questions or comments on that, feel free to pop that in there. Don't hesitate. Don't be late. And I think I'm going to send him. Need to, you can call myself. There we go. No, AP is over, so hopefully he'll be joining pretty quick. I know he had a very busy morning. A lot of these creators are doing a lot more work on their presentations than I surely am. I do a couple shorts, try to get a live twice a week, where they're doing lives, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a week. And I know my videos are no frill. Sometimes I'll play around with some editing and that, but mostly I'm just putting it out the way I filmed it. And I try to vary it in that. I got my McBean Farms and Prepping channel for things that are happening around the farm, mostly wildlife and other things, and I hope all that are on it and enjoy that. I do that to try to separate the two channels, but every now and then if I see something really cool, I'll put it on both channels. But I think I finally got the hummingbirds on video this morning, dangerously close to my cat. It was very fast, and it's got birds before. But if it turned out as good as I think it did, I will. And he might have. I did send him a reminder or two, but that happens, and that's okay. I can carry on. Matter of fact, I'll do this set of 185 right now. There we go. Music, how you doing? So my bench press record in a sanctioned meet, which you can look up on openpowerlifter.org, is 446.4 pounds or 202.5 kilos. And I did that last November at W.T. Franklin's UPA meet. He did one for raise some money for cancer. So it's called Cancer as a Bench. So that ties me for 5th in the world all time in the 275-pound class, 60 to 64. In the gym about 2 years ago, and I have videos out there. It's just buried very deep. I did 480 pounds. Pretty clean rep. At Short Fitness, Vince Robbins was my spotter, and that's the best I've done. When I do those weights, I really, really, really feel it in the shoulders. So, and that's what the warm-ups are about. The warm-ups are about getting the shoulders prepared for it. So, a lot of times, the lighter weight ones are just to get warmed up. I'm 6'4", and I'm currently 239 pounds on the scale this morning. So I was down to 233 last week, so I've reclaimed 5 or 6 pounds back. I do like to be around 242, 245 is usually my best weight. I did get heavy that year, so I was in the 275 pound class. But I was hanging around 262, 265, and that's a bit heavy for me. I mean, I was swelled up, but also had too much of a belly, so I got rid of that. Once again, I'll post that link if you want to join in, and if Jason happens to be watching. The only thing is you may not get the notification because I'm on StreamYard. I'm not quite sure how that works. I can't really edit all the things that I can do with a regular live stream, because here I'm just a watcher. So hopefully he'll pick up on that. I don't see anything in the emails. I have sent him a few, but that happens. Life happens. You could have had a family, emergency, or who knows, or just got involved with a lot of things he wanted to do. But hopefully he'll join us a little bit later. Now that his premiere is over, I did email him. That's about the best way I can get a hold of him. I haven't seen any responses yet. And of course, a lot of times we're not married to our phone either. I do have some StreamYard. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, so we're up at 185, and then I'll go up to 2.25, because I am feeling a little discomfort in one shoulder. I'm trying to figure out why that is. And time to add weight. So I have the holy weights. So it's like a religious moment. A lot of people say, well, they have holes in them, so they don't weigh as much as they do. And I said, it's just mass. Mass is mass. 25 pounds, the big ones are 45. So get it? Mass, holy weights. That's my dad joke. So today may become my rut day, depending how the shoulder does. Let me see. Boy, there's a big delay there. Otherwise, got 2.25 here now. Depending on how the rest of the workout's going. A lot of times you got to do that. You got to listen to your body in that. If you're working out and you start feeling pain in an area that you haven't felt before, you got to pay attention to it. And then eventually you may have to make some adjustments. If you don't listen to your body, then bad things can happen. And we don't want that to happen. So remember to like and subscribe and share. We do the lives usually twice a week. Next week, I probably won't be live on Monday, probably Tuesday, because I got to make that early morning run to Chicago to pick the missus up from the airport. She's coming back from Arizona. She's out visiting my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter, because she's down there too for the baby shower. And sometime next month, I officially become a grandpa for the first time. So I'm excited about that. And so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I've done all the I could say contacting that I can do. Oh, got tagged in a post. Oh, there we go. So, anybody got any questions? Oh yeah, thank you. Absolutely, I'm looking really forward to it. Social media can be quite entertaining at times. It really can. Just keep going on as usual. Yeah, I do. So, keep lifting. People ask, why do you lift so heavy? It's my mentality. Do I have to lift heavy weights to be in shape? No, I don't. I can do more reps at lighter weights. Does lifting heavy make me bigger? No, it doesn't. It makes me stronger. If you want to get bigger, you do lots of reps, and you feed the muscles with a lot of reps to get all that blood nutrition into them, and a lot of drop sets. So thank you, Miss Prepper. About 30 days. About 30 days. She's due on the 13th of October. And I wish I could have went out and seen them, but I have to work, and it's a fairly new job, so I don't have any vacation yet. But probably around Christmas, I will fly out there on the weekend, even though it's the most expensive way of doing it. Things have to be done. So, looking forward to that. Kind of an exciting addition to, my journey through life. Now that I have grandkids that I can wind up and spoil and then give them back to mama. But I remember when my dad was around, the kids were young, don't yell at that, kids. I'd be going, who are you? I don't know you anymore. All right, 2 1/4. Ah. So what I'm going to do is probably going to do a lot of reps at lighter weights. Just make it a volume day today. So give me a good pump. I am feeling a little, slight discomfort. And the problem is I have such a pain tolerance that what's a slight discomfort could be really something you need to pay attention to. So we'll do a couple sets at 2 1/4. And then depending on how I feel, we'll go from there. So, Jason, if you're paying attention, I do have the links right here in the thing at StreamYard there. You click that link, and it will bring you to this broadcast. If anybody else wants to join in, just to say hi in that, feel free to do so. I think I can. Here we go. Hey. And to stream. So here we got Prepper Basic. And Prepper.
Hey, what's going on?
Look.
Yeah, let me change that real quick.
That's okay. So, one thing about Fat Man Prepper is he is kind of a whiz with the special effects in that. I remember watching his live streams, and he'd have all sorts of special effects going on in the background and stuff like that. Definitely spent more time learning the ins and outs on that than I did.
Yeah, video editing is actually kind of fun. But I got a question. Well, not a question for me, but for your viewers. You know, American lifestyle is very sedentary. We sit around a lot. Most of us are sitting in front of computers, 8-9 hours a day, 12 hours a day, just sitting. For those that are getting into fitness, tell them what would be the best thing for them to do. What are some things that they could do in the office while sitting just to burn some calories up, do something?
Good question. So, even in a sitting one, you can just sit there and you can tense your abs, and you hold that for 30 seconds, and then relax. And you can do that. Do maybe 10 to 12 repetitions of that, and that will help strengthen your core. Instead of having somebody running, getting you, the stapler, or getting you a coffee, or getting you, paper, yada yada yada, you can get up and walk and get it yourself. And that's going to sit there and get your ankles and your hips and your legs, your knees moving. And the problem is when you have joint problems, if you don't move, they can tend to lock up on you. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park further away from the entrance of work or the grocery store. If you have the ability to walk. Don't get on those electric carts at the store, so you can cruise around and burn 0 calories buying food or whatever. I see, now some people absolutely need to have those, but I see a lot of people that really don't. I've seen someone who was younger, and they were overweight, but they're on one of those carts. They had the ability to walk, because I've seen them walk from the car to the entrance. But they just sat in one of the little carts, and then here I got this lady who's probably in her upper 80s with a push cart, using the push cart as a walker, walking through the whole store. Who has a better lifestyle? Well, the lady in her upper 80s, not the one in her 30s, that she keeps doing that, or he keeps doing that, whoever it is. By the time they're 40 or 50, they will no longer have the ability to move. You can get light dumbbells, and you can do reverse curls and regular curls. You can do shoulder raises. While you're in the office. When I had an office job, I made sure I took my hour lunch in the gym. So I went to the gym, worked out. And they're like, man, why are you doing that? So, well, the gym was only 5 minutes away. I basically would work out in my dress pants and shoes, and I would just change shirts, and I'd do a workout. And after work, I'd do a heavy workout. But if I didn't do it, I wasn't going to get the activity. When I ran stores, I walked a lot. So when I ran the H.H. Gregg and Sears, I'd probably walk 4 or 5 miles a day easy. So I just walked everywhere. I didn't page people to come to the office. I went to them. Why? Because I wanted to exercise. When I went to the warehouse, I would grab bars and I'd do pull-ups. I would do push-ups in the office when no one was in the area. You got to just keep active. And if you can't do push-ups, well, you can go against the wall and go on an angle and do push-ups that way. There's ways to change the angle or change the intensity of the workout, but you're still getting that movement. And then if you're trying to lose weight, it's 90% diet. It really is. Giving up soda will be, if you drink soda, if you give up soda, that's huge.
One thing I noticed when I was really getting into fitness, this was 10 years ago, is I found that I ate more while I was working out and losing weight, believe it or not, I was losing weight. I was checking in every week. I was losing 5-6 pounds a week when I was working out.
So
I
two
was
things
doing
were-
really good.
Two things were
But-
happening. Is you were burning calories and losing weight, and you were converting some of that weight into muscle. So for every pound of muscle you produce, and it takes time, it's not done in a week, but every pound of muscle you produce, you burn 100 calories a day just having that pound of muscle. So if you can put 2 or 3 pounds of muscle on in say 3 to 6 months, that's an extra 200 or 300 calories you're burning by not even working out. Now, once you work out and are engaged in those muscles, you're burning 3 times the calories. So what you were doing is you were getting rid of a lot of the bad weight. You were starting to put on good weight, because what will happen is eventually you'll stop losing the weight, but your waist size will still decrease. Your belly will still decrease. And you go, wow, I'm not losing weight, but I'm looking better. That's because you're converting fat into muscle. It takes time, and you still had, even though you were eating more because you were burning more calories and your body realized it needed more food, it's easier for it to digest food than it is to break down fat.
Well, I also learned that how you eat is going to play a big difference. Like me, when I was, really into it, I was eating constantly. I would, right when I woke up, right after the 3 S's, there was something in my mouth eating. And then every 2 hours, I was eating something. I was eating good proteins, good carbs, but eating at 6 p.m.
Right.
That's when I set my cutoff time for 6 p.m. I didn't eat anything, just fluids.
And that's correct. So eating more meals during the day keeps your metabolism higher. Also, it's not especially when you eat, but what you eat when you eat it. So, everybody likes ice cream. Yeah, you can still eat ice cream, but have it in the morning. So then that sugar hits your system and kicks your metabolism up. The problem is most people have their ice cream right before they go to bed. It's got no place to go but into your fat cells. That's the only place it has to go. And then it's going to also mess up your sleep. So if you are going to have the sweets, have them earlier in the day while you're active, and you'll burn those calories off. But right, first thing in the morning, you want to get some food in you to get the engine started, get things rolling. Because if you don't, then your body's sluggish, and when your body's sluggish, you're sluggish, and that's just a terrible cycle to be in. So, hey neighbor, how you doing? I was Sherman Ball Mappy. I was talking to your grandma the other day. Went and picked up some eggs from your dad. So anyway,
The one thing I did do is I was working out 6 days a week. I worked 8 hours, and then I was actually in the gym 8 hours, either 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours at night, or 8 hours at night after work. But I did it 6 days a week, and Sundays were my off day. That was my cheat day. That's
Right.
when I could, the sugar that I was craving all week. And when you change your diet, I learned that Sunday became the thing I was working for. I enjoyed the sweets a whole lot more on Sunday than I did throughout the week. When I was eating, 99-cent heart attacks, for Mickey D's and BK, you feel like crap.
well, you do. I mean, when we're traveling on vacation, we stop at McDonald's. I feel worse afterwards. So, hey, JGB Hogs, great to see you. And so what I try to do is I try to go to a place that's a little, like an Arby's, so you can have something a little bit more healthier. I try to stay away from the McDonald's, but there's a time where that convenience is why you do it, and I understand that. And you got some calories in, but they're not good calories. When I dropped down to one summer, I got down to 222. I mean, the 6-pack showed back up. And the way I did it is the 5 days that I worked, I took a big Tupperware jug of vegetables in. Most of them were from my garden, but it'd be lettuce and green peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes, onions, and then I would also probably eat about 5 or 6 cans of tuna. And that's what I ate during my 10 to 12 hour day. Plus I went and I worked out in the gym for an hour, hour and a half.
I just want to make sure.
Working out 4 to 8 hours is probably excessive, but I know people that do that. They live in the gym, and when I retire, that probably will be me. And then on my days off, I didn't really worry about it. It doesn't mean I went and splurged, but the wife and I would go out and we'd have some beer and maybe go out for pizza or dinner that may not have been the healthiest, but it was well prepared food. So you can eat good food. It's just the process. So when I do my breakfast or dinner things, it takes an hour for me to make a meal, a complete meal, from start to finish. It takes about an hour to make a good meal. It takes about 5 minutes to make just a sandwich, but it's not a good meal.
When I first started working out, I wasn't doing it every day. I mean, hell, for the first 2 weeks, I went maybe 3 or 4 times a week, for the first month. Yep. For the first 2 weeks, I was sore as hell. I was hurt. I mean, you could just smell the Bengay on me because that's how bad I was hurting.
Right.
Third week.
You're going to start slow and steady, slow with light weights, and take your time. But there will be a time where you're going to get sore. But what I see is people, it's the first day in the gym, and they do, 12 sets of bench, 10 sets of curls, 10 sets of tries, 10 sets of squats. And 3 days later, they're curled up in the corner in a little ball in pain. I'm like, well, what do you think was going to happen? And unfortunately, if you get too sore, a lot of times those people don't come back.
Yeah.
The big joke in the gym is when we see people come in on the beginning of the year, we're kind of laying bets on who's going to be the one person that stays. Because generally you'll swell up to, 20 new members in just a smaller gym. In a bigger gym is probably hundreds. And then you kind of look around. I mean, I remember the first time I went to a gym. No, I had been working out at home 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, and they didn't know that. But after I was at this gym for 6 months, a couple of regulars came up and goes, yeah, we didn't think you were going to stay, but then we realized you were, putting up big weights. I said, oh, yeah. I said, I mean, it wasn't me just coming in to work out the first time. I worked out at home for years. Probably 15 years I worked out of the garage. But, and then, Michael does the body beat down. He works out at his house. He's got a whole gym there. And I have, weights at the house. Like I'm outside. I lift when I go to the garden. I got them in the hallway. I lift after I sit there and, take care of part of the 3 S's. Now, here we go. I am sauteed cabbage, broccoli, asparagus, onions, garlic. Damn near every day. Been doing it for some time now. Quite a lot.
I think one of the bigger reasons why people don't work out, go for walks and things like that anymore is because they do set unrealistic goals. You see these guys, that are just ripped. And hell, you're ripped compared to me.
I've been doing it for 48 years, though.
They set unrealistic goals. They'll go strong for a month and see very little, if any, change. But they don't realize that you are changing, that your energy level, your stamina is increasing. Although you may not be you may gain weight if you're lifting like McBean is doing. You're going to gain weight because you're building muscle. Mine was completely for cardio and to lose weight. So that's what I did was I worried only about cardio. Luckily, when I started, I had a good friend at work who was big into weightlifting and understood what I was trying to accomplish. He told me straight up, don't even worry about lifting a weight. Go do the cardio stuff. That's what you want to concentrate on for first. You need to get your cardio up, get your stamina up. Then when you get to a point where you're starting to plateau, then you can go ahead and start worrying about your muscle mass.
Right. And actually, you're not going to notice it because it's a slow process. And you're looking at yourself every day. And the only way you'll notice is you'll pull out a pair of dress pants you haven't worn once. You'd be like, holy crap, I got to put another hole in my belt. Or somebody who hasn't seen you for a while will notice the change. So
Yeah, physically, I didn't notice anything, and I'll be honest. Up for the entire time I was doing it, physically, I noticed nothing. Other people were noticing it. However, I was one of the people that had the app on their phone. I kept track of everything I ate, how many calories it was, how much I worked out, the estimated burn of calories, and then every week, like I said, I would weigh in, and that's how I tracked it. I didn't look at my body. I looked at the numbers.
So even to this day, I don't think I'm as large as I am. And I don't realize it until I take a picture of somebody who I think is big and then realize that I'm either as big or bigger. Like at work yesterday, I walked up to one of the supervisors that's new, and I thought he was a pretty good size. And when I came walking up to him, I realized I was just towering over him. And he's like, holy crap, And so you're working it to stay in shape. But I got a question for you. You did this, you know how to do it. You know exactly what you need to do to make the changes. Why'd you stop?
Depression.
Okay. So I feel that I can deal with that better when I'm in the gym than I'm not. If I don't go to the gym for 3 or 4 days, I start getting depressed. I start getting angry with myself. Because really, whose fault was it? It was me. So what my encouragement would be to you is I don't have to tell you how to do things. You know how to do it. You've been there. And muscle memory and habit forming memories will come back quickly. But you have to make some changes in your life. And the only person that can convince you to make those changes are you. You can convince yourself to do good things. You can excuse yourself to do bad things, and you will always listen to yourself. I've been through the same thing where, I wouldn't bench heavy because I told myself I was too tall to do that. And it was true because I told myself, and I trust what I say, until I finally made a decision to say, I think I can do it. It's just time and pressure. And you're right. A lot of people have unrealistic expectations. They're looking at that guy who's, doing the XP90, and he's ripped with, 1% body fat. That's not how he got there. It's not the program he used. Does he do that program? Yeah, maybe about once a month for a commercial. He did it by spending time in the gym, by having pre-made meals that he probably bought. And he's probably been to the pharmaceutical to get that way. Rarely are you going to get down to that low body fat when you're older. Now, in my 20s, I had a metabolism that wouldn't shut down. So I was always around 6-7% body fat. I couldn't gain weight because it wouldn't shut down. But, as I got older, that was no longer the case. But you already know what it needs to do. And if you're depressed, right now, I would encourage you to encourage yourself to get into some sort of exercise program. Now, it starts slow. Like you said, you only were going there 3 or 4 days a week. That's plenty. 3 or 4 days a week will get you in better shape. Absolutely. I would start with walks. Maybe not when it's 111 degrees out there, because I know where you're at. My daughter's out there, and I know it's extremely hot. Because you'd have to get up at 2 in the morning to be able to walk out there. But maybe find a pool. I'll be honest with you. When the daughter bought a house, they had a pool in there. And if I lived in Arizona, I would have to have a pool. But I don't care if it's a dry heat. You guys, it's too damn hot. But, get into some sort of routine. Change your habits. I drink beer. I don't drink in excess often. But you might want to get rid of the tobacco. And remember, it takes 3 weeks to break a habit. It takes 3 weeks to start a habit. So what I did is when I quit smoking, I quit drinking too at the time because I would smoke more when I drank. A pack of cigarettes Monday through Friday would last me. And then Saturday night at the bar, I'd go through another pack and I'd feel like crap on Sunday. So I got rid of it. Cold turkey, Not everybody can do that, but I did. because I said I was stronger than it was. And then after about a year, I took a good look at myself in the mirror and some pictures when I was at SeaWorld. I'm like, what did I let happen to myself? Because I let it happen. You know, I had a wife saying, you look fine. You look fine. I didn't look fine. My shoulders were gone. My chest was gone. I was getting a belly. And I was never that way. I was always an athlete. So I made the decision to get back lifting, set up the weights in the basement, started light. I mean, with the bench, I started 95 pounds. And I did that for a month before I added weight because I didn't want to get to that point where you were so sore you couldn't move. And I did get to the point where I got sore, but, within 8 months, I was back to where I was at. I had my 285 bench back. I was doing reps. I was doing so many repetitions. Like you said, you were spending, 48 hours in the gym. Well, I was spending 3 or 4 hours down in the basement lifting. I'd get home at 9. I'd lift at 1 in the morning. And it got to the point where my wrist was so hard. When I went to get a blood test, the nurse kind of freaked out on me. What's wrong with your wrist? I said, nothing wrong with it. She goes, well, why is it so hard? I said, well, it's called muscle. She goes, well, other people are not like that. I said, well, okay. I am different. I'm Abby something. Yeah. But I encourage people just to get back into an exercise regimen. You don't need to be doing what I do. You need to do something that's comfortable for you, that you're going to enjoy doing, and that you can do it. You don't necessarily have to go back to the gym for 4 hours. But 45 minutes will definitely be beneficial. And I think once you get into that habit after about 3 weeks, I think you'll find out the depression will be more manageable. It might go away, but it'll be more manageable because now you're starting to feel better about yourself. And when you get physically better, you start feeling better about your physical self. You start feeling better about your mental self. That is my opinion.
Oh yeah,
I would encourage you to do it because you obviously know how. I mean, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. Correct?
Oh yeah, I'm at the point where I'm actually getting ready again with the heat. The way Arizona heat is here in the valley. I'm planning things out. Actually, next month I will actually be changing a whole lot of what I do. I will be going out for those walks and changing my diet, cutting down, trying to. I'll probably go cold turkey with the cigarettes as well.
Yeah, that's the only way I could do it. And then, like I said, when I did it, I quit drinking for a while because I knew that's when I had the greatest urge. And, now I would never pick up a cigarette again or a cigar. I had a buddy who had quit for 10 years, and then him and the boss started smoking cigars outside. And, 6 months later, he's smoking 3 packs a day. He lives out in Arizona. I need to call him because I think last year his doctor told him that if he didn't quit, he wasn't going to be around very long. I think he's 7 years older than I am. And that's just it. He has what's called an addictive personality.
Yeah, I know how those are.
He had a gambling. I had a cousin who was 10 years older than me. He had that too. So when he'd call me, I'd ask him, I said, what's in your other hand? Is it a Bible or a Bible? He goes, well, I got the Bible. I got the good Lord's book. I said, okay, we'll talk. If he told me, well, I got a bottle, I said, okay, call me back when you get rid of it. Because he was 2 different people with that.
Yeah.
That's just, if he picked up a bottle, he was drinking the whole bottle. Well, Jacob goes, what body weight do you want to get up to? I want to get back to about 245 because I like to compete at the 242-pound class. And dropping 3 pounds in a week is really easy to do and is not going to affect my strength. Last year, I was as heavy as 265. Last week, I was down to 233. I've gotten about 5 or 6 pounds of that back. But it's been a real chore because we're at work. I'm not sitting at a desk. I'm standing next to a furnace, and I'm moving a lot of heavy product. Just the tooling we use alone is anywhere from 40 to 75 pounds. And a lot of people use hoist to move that stuff around. I just pick the stuff up. And then depending on the outside temperature, it's anywhere from about 95 to 107 degrees in there. We have a lot of fans. They supply all the water and Gatorade that you want to drink. And I mean, I probably drink a bottle of water or Gatorade every hour just to keep myself hydrated. So the job has really helped me drop that extra weight. Plus, I had a real bad bout of. You ever go for the 500-pound bench again? Probably. But I said first now I just want to get the 405 on a regular basis. Now I get the 405 on a regular basis, and I'll go for 415 on a regular basis, and we'll go from there. The only thing is you don't want to sit there and set too aggressive a goal because it sets you up to do.
Set you up for failure if you set it too high.
It sets you up for injuries. It also sets you up for doing unwise decisions. I know a young man that used to work out with us, and we had 500-pound benchers. I was in the 450s at the time. We had other ones that were in the 400s. He was about in the 350s. And then I watched him go from 350 to 465 in a period of about 3 months. You don't do that naturally unless you have muscle memory and you've been there before, and he had not. So when we went to a meet, he opened up at 440 pounds, which is 200 kilos. And I asked him, why are you opening up so heavy? So I could do 465 any time. I said, still, your first lift wants to be a nice, clean, easy lift. Because if you struggle, they're going to zero in on, his foot moved. All right, next time they're going to be really zeroed in on it and they'll red light you. Well, he tore the hell out of his pec on that weight. He said, well, I don't understand that. So I said, here's the problem with all that stuff that you were on, is they build up muscles really quick, but they don't get the ligaments or tendons time to adjust to it. So what you do is you become too strong for your body to stand, and something's going to tear. And that's what. And so that pretty much ended it. He got the surgery, and then he never lifted heavy again. And I know of other people that they get the surgery and they're right back at it. So I always tell people to listen. Do something that'll get you and things. I mean, if I don't reach 500-pound bench, that's okay. Ain't at the end of the world. But I do want to stay above the 405 as long as I can. Right now my training has really been focused on the discus throwing, which I'm competing on the 18th down in Springfield, and I just want to do well there. I mean, I'll do some throwing after the gym, and there I don't want to be too bulky because I want to have some speed. Now, back to work. Thanks, JGB. Hugs for popping in. Appreciate it. Hello, Miss Prepper. Thanks for stopping in. You have a wonderful day. But that's the way I look at it is, set yourself some goals, make them easy to attain, give yourself more than enough time to attain them. And then when you do, repeat. I mean, for a while, my bench was only increasing 5 pounds a year, but 10 years, that's 50 pounds. Time and pressure. I think a lot of people think, I got to hurry up because I'm getting older. I'm 61. I'm still getting stronger. You don't have to hurry up. All you got to do is work within the means of your body, and what you're good at, get better at. What you're not good at, get good at. That's basically what you do. Train smart as you get older, because otherwise you'll end up with a bad injury. Right, but Jacob, I still lift really heavy, and I've had doctors for 15 years now tell me I got to stop lifting heavy. I ignore them. Do I pay attention to my body? Yeah, especially after that one tear I had in 19, but I heal. I always heal. Takes time, but no surgery for me.
Well, paying attention to your body and what your body's telling you, and also getting rid of negative influences. Me being a bigger guy all my life, I had people sit there and tell me, oh, you're just fat and lazy. You're fat and lazy. You're fat and lazy, until they decided to come and work out with me. I
Right.
had people that are weightlifters. That's all they concentrated on was mass. They wanted the big bulging muscles. They couldn't
Right.
keep up with the workout period of mine because it
Right.
was cardio. It was endurance. It wasn't the mass, putting on mass.
Right.
I
You can't be
remember
good at it.
I
And I
was
know
staying
those.
with one guy. He's like, "Oh, I can bench this." I'm like, "No, I can't do that. I already know." So then he's like, "Oh, well, I can do this on the leg press." Well, I blew him out of the water with the leg press. He couldn't keep
Yeah.
up with me on that. And I said, "Come on, let's go hit the treadmill for a little bit. We're going to
I
hit
can
it
do
for 1
600
hour."
pounds on a leg press, but I can't squat it. Leg presses don't impress me. What can you squat?
Yeah, I'm
You're right.
I squat when I take a turd, and that's about it. But I told him, let's go ahead and run the treadmill. And my guy in the treadmill is, I would start, minimum program, but the treadmill that they had, I was able to adjust the incline and the speed. And every now and again, you would see me have a maximum incline on it and the maximum speed. I would be pushing myself to the max for 5-10 minutes, and then I would drop it back down. And they couldn't do that. They could not keep up with me. And that actually made me feel good because I actually won their respect. They're like, "Man, I don't know how you do that." But a lot of it is getting rid of the negative influences in your life as well.
Right. I had a girl I trained with, 40 years old. But she'd get on that Stairmaster and put it on max, and she'd do a half hour on it like it was nothing. And she's a firefighter, and she weighed about 180 pounds. She was 5'10", extremely strong. I think I got her bench up to about 235. But I said, if I was in a fire, I feel comfortable her getting me out of there. Probably more so than some of the guys that were in the gym. Now you got to understand, when you're in a gym, everybody's there with the goal of getting in better shape. So they're already in the probably top 3% of the population. The real eye opener is when you go into Wally Mart and see the people there, or you go to a county fair, and you can just tell you see people that just have given any attempt to be in shape. Well, Brown's a shape, and I'm not trying to shame anybody because my coworker, he's like 6'4" and 387 pounds. But he's built big. I mean, I would want to tangle with him. Besides, he's 23 years old. But he said, "No one can ever guess how much I weigh." He goes, "How much you think?" I said, "You got to be 350 or more." He goes, "Wow, everybody says like 285. I said, "Oh, no, hell no." I mean, he's big bone. He's a big boy. Hey, all right, we got Jason here. Let's add him in here. So everybody, Jason, Angry Prepper.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Jason.
Well, let me drop down so you can do your thing with Jason.
All right, well,
Jason,
thanks
good
for
to
hopping in, Fat Man. It was a good conversation. And hey, just get in the gym and cardio.
Oh, we're gonna do cardio. We're just gonna skip the gym part.
All righty. All right, brother. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Jason, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
There we go. I figure you were busy with your premieres. I popped in on those.
Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Sure, not a problem. So everybody, I got the Angry Prepper here out of New York. He also does Angry Prepping Fitness or Angry Fitness Prepper, something like that. I got it in the description on my other videos. And he kind of looks at fitness a little bit differently than I do. I think we lost the video, but I think we still have the audio.
I can still hear you guys.
There we go. So, been here in the gym and just been warming up. Been slowly going up on the weight. As always, I started with the bar, and now I've just added 315. I've probably done about 12 sets of lesser weights. I was feeling a little bit of twinge in my one shoulder, so I wanted to go at it slow. And today will probably be just a volume day. But most of the time I do go after the very heavy weights. It's just kind of my mentality, but it's not something you necessarily have to do when you're in the gym. A lot of times, lesser weight with higher reps is going to do the trick. As Fat Man was saying, he used to do a lot of the cardio. Cardio is going to be great for the heart and that. And it's just when you're going to a gym or you want an exercise program, it's just what are you trying to accomplish? You know, like just and he had a pretty easy time with it, but he said the first time I was like, oh my God, what did I throw on my back? So you're hiking with about 25 pounds in your ruck now, Jason?
Today I don't have 25 pounds. Today I have nothing. So I do the 25 pound ruck 3 times a week, and then I do like a mile walk or 2 mile walk once a week.
So while you're doing the walks, and I don't know if you ever watch my walk and rants and that, not only am I out there for to get in shape and that, but I'm also out there to kind of recon the area and what has changed, what has been added to, and things like that. Now, I have a lot less things to pay attention to because I live out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And generally, I have to go for a longer walk just to even, mile get to my first neighbor.
I hear that.
I encourage people that live in the city or suburbs, to pay attention. What businesses have opened up, what businesses have closed, what sort of groups are hanging around what streets. When I went to college up in Chicago, there were streets that I wouldn't walk down because it wasn't safe to do so. And there were certain times that you would be out there because it wasn't safe to do so. And you had to recon the area and talk to the locals to find out about those places. I was right down in downtown Chicago, and some areas were, the very elite district, and some areas were not. And you had to know the difference. And then another thing, when people say, "Oh, the violence is out of control now," it always was the same. You just didn't have the instant information of the cell phones back then. I lived on the street and I heard gunfire all night. The next day there'd be like maybe one incident in the paper. I said, "Oh, there was more than that going on."
Right. Well, I mean, listen, it's the city, with the bomb of the city is that, with the violence is that we are seeing, for example, I live in a small, quiet block in an area, and the crime is starting to peak up there. We're starting to see more people. We're starting to see more things missing, more damages to cars. So, like in this aspect, yeah, we're definitely seeing more crime. But I can't speak for everywhere else.
Well, what I noticed where I used to live, and it used to be a real rural area, and then as it got bigger, we're getting a lot of crime coming down from Chicago because they're finding it's kind of easy pickings because, the people are so relaxed that they're not doing the smart things of being aware. And they came into my buddy's neighborhood. They robbed one neighbor. Someone was talking to him in the front door. They went in the back door and stole stuff. And then about 3 weeks later, they came walking up my neighbor's driveway. Well, he reached in the toolbox and pulled out his 44 mag and said, "You're lost." He goes, "Oh, I'm listening. You ain't looking for anybody. You tell your buddies don't come down this neighborhood anymore." And you know what? I haven't been back since. But I trained him. We did a lot of shooting together, and he was aware. The other neighbors, they were clueless.
Right.
They were just an easy victim. And when I'm out in a city, when I'm out in an area, I'm always doing a 360. I'm always aware of what's coming behind me, what's the right and left. Anything that's approaching me that wants to make eye contact, I make eye contact. I let them know that, okay, I know who you are. Not in a threatening way, but I let them know that I'm aware of what's going on. And if you're looking for a target, you need to look for an easier target.
Right. Right. Exactly. Well, you know what? I noticed a lot more people though are they have no situational awareness. Not here in the
Right.
city anyway.
And
Because
then
I mean,
sometimes
say again.
it's out here in the country too. I was walking down where there's a bunch of camper trailers, and the lady was out there with the weed whacker, and she never knew I was there. I literally, and she's out in the middle of nowhere. There's no one around her. I literally could have walked up right behind her, and she never knew I was there. And I was trying to get her attention. And I'm thinking,
No shit.
I told my wife is, listen to all these things. I live in 14 acres. I know when people enter my property. I got some sensors
Right.
to let it too, but I'm always looking. You got a little bit more noise there than we have here.
Yeah, it's fucking noisy here. Yeah, I just got out of the gym, so I'm down at 34th Street. It's fucking horrendous down here. But listen, how much longer are you gonna be back on? Cause I gotta jump on the train.
At least for another 30 minutes.
All right, I gotta go to a rally, so I'll jump back on when I get there.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
There we go. So the sounds of New York City. Yep, I love the sounds of the city. Things that we don't hear out where I'm at. Now, what I did see last night is on the way home, and I'm coming home almost around midnight, is there was a plane flying pretty low and slow by my property. So when I got into the house, I pulled out the binoculars and trying to identify what was flying over. And it was a decent sized plane. It wasn't a crop duster. I mean, it wasn't a 747 either. But I was really curious why it was as low as it was where I am at. And that's one of the things about situational awareness. I mean, they were low enough where they seen me come back out of the house because I have a lot of sensor lights that really light up the area when you come walking up. And I was just curious, what are you looking for? Well, there was no, wasn't a helicopter. It was a good sized plane, probably about 3 times the size of a Cessna. But that's one of the things I'm always watching. When I get out of the car, I listen for coyotes. We have a lot of them. And one time I had 2 packs that were pretty close enough to make the cat nervous, and it went and hid. And I went in the house, got the pistol, and wrapped off a few rounds just to chase them out of the area. Neighbors got cattle. They've taken some of the calves. I have a cat that's decided to be my friend. It was a feral. Well, I wouldn't say it was a feral cat, but I think someone threw it out the window because it probably wasn't a kitten anymore. And for 6 years, it wouldn't let me get within 30 feet of it. And now it's on my lap all the time. It's right there at the door waiting for me. Feed me, Daddy. Yeah, you gotta be aware of it. Neighbor got his car stolen. Yep, live in the countryside, so I got guard dogs around my property. Yep. Dogs are wonderful. They don't even need to bite. They just need to bark. They kind of give it away. Oh, got Fat Man back here. Let me get him back in.
Yeah, I wanted to jump down while you and Jason
Sure,
didn't want to hear from Jason.
But yeah, I mean, I just encourage you to get back into some sort of routine.
Well, like I put in chat, that's kind of the plan. Kind of what Jason had hinted at. Right now I've been working on my good bag. So I got a few more items left on that, but I'll be walking a mile or 2 every morning before work. With that, and like he said, people don't have very good situational awareness when they're walking. They're oblivious to too much.
I mean, I'm a big guy, and there are a lot of times I can walk into a place, and then after about 20 minutes, somebody goes, "Oh, man, I didn't see you. 6'4". How'd you not see me?" But I do have a tendency. I don't make a lot of noise when I move, so I know I do surprise people, and it's just a natural walk for me. It's not something I practiced. I had my daughter had a friend over when she was in high school. She was an exchange student from Korea, and I was over Korea for a year. And every time I'd come in her room, she'd jump up and scream, but she didn't, hear me approach. So I finally had to sit there and walk around the house stomping my feet. I got tired of scaring the crap out of her. I was like, "Hun, man, you need to relax." And then I hear her tell my daughter, "Your dad don't make any sound." He goes, I go, "Well, I do make sound, but it's like it belongs there." I mean, that one walking in the woods, I got really close to that deer because I was walking like I belonged in the woods, And
I give people shit all the time when they say, "Man, I didn't even see or hear you." I'm like, "Do you need glasses and a hearing aid? I'm 300 plus pounds." Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah. You must have been in that multi-dimensional warp field.
But then again, I'm the type of person, when I walk, I do walk slow because I'm walking with purpose. I'm paying attention to everything that's going around me and processing it.
How's it going? Yeah, it's like Kill a Girl that said they walk with their beak in the phones. When I ran a store, they had all these people playing this that candy app, whatever it's called, Candy Crush. And literally I would see one of my coworkers, walking down the hallway, and I'd just put my fist right at, head level, and he'd walk right into it. Just bam. I said, "Really? You're going to walk out in the middle of traffic and get nailed." I had somebody rear end me because they were on their phone. Driving to Chicago, it will go from 55 to 0 at any time, And I always would put a hitch on my vehicles. And I'd put a ball on that hitch. And what it did is it protected the rear end of my vehicle because he hit me and he didn't reach me. But my hitch punched a hole in his radiator.
Huh.
But once he hit me, I looked up and I could see him looking up from his phone. I said, "Well, dummy." And he goes, "Well, it doesn't look like I did any damage to you." I said, "No, you didn't." And I said, "But you're going to need a new radiator." I said, "You got all that blue stuff." I said, that's easily going to be about $2,000-3,000 of an insurance claim. Have fun with it.
Jacob, I always have at least 2-2As with me anytime I walk around. Yep. But then again, I'm in a very 2A friendly state.
You are. I remember being there, and we were at a 2A store in Falstaff, and we were looking at the guy goes, "You interested?" I said, "I am." I said, "But I don't have time for so I'm leaving tomorrow. I don't have time for a background check." I said, "Oh no, we just run one now. There's no waiting period here."
Yeah.
"Oh, great." He goes, "Well, what town do you live in?" So I'm from Illinois. "Oh, we can't sell you a gun." I said, "Yeah, I figured that." Because we had a mayor of Chicago way back then who was such a prick, Daley, that he was trying to sue all these gun stores in other states that they will not sell to anybody from Illinois. They won't transfer it to a dealer or nothing. You go to Indiana, nope, ain't selling to you. You go to Michigan, nope. Ohio, nope. Wisconsin, nope. I didn't know it extended all the way to Arizona. But I said, "No, you got to be a resident. We only sell to residents." And I can understand.
When I first moved out here, I got a job at a convenience store. And the very first day, I was freaked out because there's people walking in with guns, with their 2A to their holster. Now, I'm not used to that. I was born and raised in Nebraska, and we weren't, at that time, we weren't 2A friendly.
Right.
As friendly as Arizona. So, yeah, it was a bit of adjustment for me, but I will not travel anywhere out here without it.
Yeah. I always have a friend. We were in Missouri, and it was late at night, about midnight, and we stopped at a gas station in the middle of nowhere. And, I had my 9, young kid pumping gas next to me, had a 45 strapped to his hip. Sheriff come in, said hi to both of us, didn't even blink. The guy behind the counter had, looked like a 38 special, I said, "Yeah, they're not going to be trouble here ever."
Yeah, everyone seems to have their specific favorites.
Oh,
some are not. Some are the
I
38.
got a few different. I got a few flavors. Air guns are just as good. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Ben, air gun will get you killed. All right. As much as they may hurt, as much as they might be able to take down a bunny, you know, you better have the real thing because air gun ain't gonna do it. You know, even at 1,500 feet per second, all it's gonna do is a guy my size is you're gonna get shot with a 9mm. You know, just letting you know, it's good for rodents. Yeah, we're not talking about a gauze gun.
My good bag has a little. It just has a little 22 LR
Yeah,
Rough
long
Rider
rifle.
with a 9-inch barrel. You know, it's
That's
a
the
handgun, but
Yeah, that's the most lethal round for a headshot.
it's
It
well.
has enough time to get. It has enough energy to get in, but not enough to get out. It just bounces around. All right, 315.
Well,
Let me give this another ride here.
The 22 LR is just for small game. It's part of my good bag. It's
Oh,
what
I
I
took
can
out a
get
deer.
small game when I need to.
You can take down a deer with
Mine-
one if you hit it right.
My main sidearm is my 45.
Yeah, that's a good round.
A big proponent
Fat,
of 45.
fat and slow. Fat and slow.
Well, yeah, this is a POS one. It's a high point, but it can take a
Shoots
beating.
arrows too. Okay, yeah. So you got like a compressed air tank to it.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm
45
talking to Ben.
45. Oh,
No, Ben was
in
saying it
chat,
shoots
yeah.
arrows. He's got an air gun that shoots arrows, so I think he's got one that's got compressed air or compressed.
Well, I've
CO2.
seen what is it? I think it was a 12 gauge shooting arrows.
Huh. I have a bow that shoots arrows. Actually,
I forgot what-
bows.
I forgot what gun it was, but yeah, they were shooting arrows out of it. But
I'll have to
like
look that one up, man.
that is definitely something I plan. And my good bag is damn near 150 pounds. So I'll be walking, doing a 1-2 mile, probably just a 1 mile to start with
Yeah,
the first couple weeks, and then 2 miles after that.
I gotta unpack my bag. I think it's been sitting in my boys' room, fully packed, and I need to unpack it and rethink what I have in there because right now it's probably got about 30 pounds that it doesn't need. Of course, where I'm at, when I used to work 60 miles away, it was in my car. It wasn't my bug out bag. It was my bug get back home bag. So, I had a tent in there, a sleeping bag, tarps.
Yeah.
So survival food, water storage, and and 2A things in there also. And change of clothes and that. So, it was loaded probably well over 100 pounds. And when my wife asked me, well, how long would it be before I got home? I said, well, the first day, I'll probably get 10 miles down the road. Second day, probably not as much because I'm going to be majorly sore from that.
Right.
So I told her for 60 miles, you figure probably 5 to 7 days for me to get home. Because the first day you're going to have the least to deal with because everybody's still going to be wondering what happened. It's in case, shit hits the fan. And so you're not going to have a lot of people stopping you. You're not going to have a lot of things to be concerned about. But then by the third day, you're going to have to pull some really, really, security. Because now people are going to realize something bad happened, and now they're going to start looking for opportunities.
Mine is designed for heading for the hills. I'm not coming back. Once I start trekking, I'm gone.
Yep.
That's what
That's the only place where it's cool enough for you to survive. Because I tell you, I've been in Arizona now for about 5 times, and in the summer I'm not a fan. That heat will kill you.
Yeah,
I had 2 friends from high school live out there, and I went and met them at Portillo's out there by Phoenix. And First one, and he goes, "Oh, how's your wife like Arizona?" She goes, "She's not a fan." I could see their face. "Oh, so you're not moving out here?" I said, "Oh, hell no."
Well,
I said, "No, this is not a place."
here in Arizona, there's a law on the books that you can actually get arrested for failure to provide water to anybody that asks during a reasonable time.
Yep.
I mean,
We ended up traveling. You guys
if
have
somebody
a board
shows up at your door at 3:00 in the morning, yeah, you can refuse them water. But
Right.
if they show up in the middle of the afternoon, they're parched, if you refuse them a glass of water, you can actually get arrested for it.
Yep. So when we drove out there 3 times last year. The first time we went through, it's like a gorge, and it's like 126 miles. Or their vehicles have actually fallen off to their death. And before we entered there, I think I had about a little over a quarter tank of gas. And I told the wife, "Well, I'm gonna top off." She goes, "Well, we can wait down the road." I said, "I don't know when the next gas station's going to be." So we filled up. Well, the next gas station was 126 miles away. And I said, and this is not a place you want to run out of gas.
No,
Now,
it's
I
definitely.
had a case of water in there. I had my bug out bag in there. I had, had enough for a platoon. But I said, this is not where you want to break down. But what cracked me up is my daughter's soon-to-be mother-in-law called us. So, well, you might have a problem because they have a forest fire that you might have to drive through. I'm looking around going, what forest? And when we finally got to the place, I was laughing so hard because the wife was, I said, "Honey, there's not enough ground cover here." So we ended up driving through it. So what you got is you got a little bush and about a 5-foot circle where it provided enough shade for some grass to grow. And all you see is these little spots where it burnt. I said, this is what they were worried about. I said, this is not a forest fire. This is a slow burn.
Up north of the valley of the Phoenix Valley towards Flagstaff.
Oh, yeah, you get up there by Flagstaff, and they've got pine trees, and they definitely got enough ground cover. But where we went through, it was cactus or mesquite.
Yeah. I mean, down here in the valley, the only reason they worry mainly about the fires is because of the air pollution.
Yeah, it'll blow away. I gotta plug in my power here. I've been yakking so long. Hang on a second here. Yeah. I got my power cord here so my computer doesn't die out on me. Speaking of power,
You're absolutely right. Apocalyptic Ben. My knowledge of firearms is limited. I
of air guns,
a tool and a tool only. I know what they can do, and it's just a tool. I'm not a
I think he was talking to me. Fat man, he's talking to me because I think when he's got something that's got compressed CO2 or whatever. It's a little bit more than just one, 3 pumps and shoot. I'll have to.
You're red
right.
Daisy.
Well, red. No, they've got some pellet rifles out there that will take small rodents out.
Oh no, an air rifle will take down big game like deer and that. I mean, hell, Lewis and Clark took several air guns with them when they went out west to map everything, and that was back, 200 years ago.
Air rifle. Here we go. Dragon Claw air rifle. Okay, yeah, this is a dual tank. Yep, 50 cal. Okay, they got compressed air. You got dual tank, big bore. I'll have to watch those videos. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I won't buy one, but it looks cool. Well, if somebody wants to buy one for me, I like the old cap and compression powder and ball type ammo.
Air guns are a great alternative, especially because I believe there's some people out there that may have a felon where you're a felon, you can have an air gun, but you can't have an actual firearm.
Here is kind of a change here in Illinois, which kind of caught me by surprise. Because I've seen primers for the first time in 2 years. So I go, how many you want? So I'll take 7 boxes you got. He goes, all right, well, I need to see your FOID card. I said, for primers? So when did that happen? Not only did they even see my FOID card, which is an Illinois thing, but they also ran a background check.
Wow.
I said, you're running a background check for primers. Well, yeah, we have to do it on ammo now, too. We didn't have to do that before. So now they're
That's
requiring
crazy.
a background check on just getting primers, powder, or ammunition, not just guns. So when you have Tammy Duckworth list on her saying we need more laws in Illinois, she's full of shit. All right,
Well,
we have the laws. We just need to enforce them. And the problem is,
And
every
that's-
time we let something go bad, it's because they weren't enforced.
That's
That one in
just
Highland
it.
Park happened because it wasn't enforced.
That's just it. I mean, people don't. People are crazy when it comes to laws. They want to have all these laws, but you got to remember, a criminal doesn't care about the law. That's why they're a criminal.
Well, the kid that did that stuff, he shouldn't have got a FOID card, but his dad had political connections and signed off on it. But they won't tell you about that. Problem is, within a couple of days, that information comes out. So, here he had threatened to kill his family when he was 19 years old. And then 2 years later, his dad allows him to get a FOID card. Not the way that law is supposed to work. So, put in another law that they're going to ignore. Not going to affect them, only affects the law of Biden. Problem is people are just watching the wrong information, and they never double check what they hear. I mean, my own brother was telling me, well, those are assault weapons. I said, mine never assaulted anybody. I said, my dad's rolling in his grave, what you said. Remember my dad was in 2 world wars, taught us how to shoot since we were kids. We all shoot really well. And he wouldn't buy an AR because it's a scary gun. And then I had got a hold of a M1 Grand, finally. And I said, hey, check it out. I handed it to him. This is what Dad had carried in the wars. The first thing he said, oh, this is too heavy. I just took it from him. I said, I don't know you anymore. But the problem is he's, watching, the Communist News Network and, taking what they say as Bible. And I said, you need to do your own research. I don't care who you're hearing it from.
Whoop,
You need to go
sorry
and
about
search
that.
it yourself.
I had to
But,
step away. The landlord said I was late, or I was short some money, so I had to deal with that real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I miss?
Oh, just talking about my brother wouldn't buy an AR because he said they were assault rifles. And he was feeding in on what CNN was saying. And then I handed him an M1 Grand. I finally got a hold of it. So Dad used to carry this in World War II in Korea, and he complained it was too heavy. So I took it from him. I said, you ain't worthy. Now, I'm a lot bigger than my brothers. I took after my mom for size. My oldest brother's only 5'8", the other one's 5'10". So I'm the baby of the family, but I'm the big baby.
See,
Now, my
I'm
dad's
kinda-
they're all short and stout. Now, on my mom's side, they're all big and tall. So I
See,
got
I'm
my
kind of
dad's.
weird when it comes to the 2A whole thing. I'm like, you know what? There should be no laws against owning a 2A.
No.
Matter of fact, you should be able to own whatever 2A you want. If you want to own a thermonuclear device, as long
Well,
as
no.
you can maintain it and prevent it from going accidentally boom, and more power to you.
Yeah. No, there are some common sense things, but they don't want the common sense. They just want to take them. But again, we're here to talk about fitness. Let's try to get off of that. I think I'm seeing a lot of people dump off because that's not what they're wanting to come here for, and I understand that. I do have a channel for that. It's called Mac Bean's Farms and Prepping. I just haven't done any lives with that. I'm going to have to do a live stream with that one of these days. But back to the fitness stand. So here I was warming up, and I was my shoulder was giving me a little issue, but now I worked that out. So now I'm back up to 365. Now, when I do get to 365, this is usually when I go and get a spotter. Not that I always need a spotter in there, but at that weight, it's just it's a good idea to do. You know,
It's better
have
to
some
be
there in
safe than
case.
sorry.
Yeah, in case you have a spasm or something. This will allow you to have somebody to kind of get you out of trouble. So generally, this is the way I always get a spotter. Even when I'm doing 480, about 365, this is when it's time. And a lot of times, this is where if you have a new spotter, this is where you can teach them how to spot correctly. I don't know if you guys watched my lifts last time, but the first time I did the 365, the guy, he was a new guy, and he grabbed a bar on my second rep. So when I posted it, I said, 365 by 2, why did you touch the bar? And then on the second time I did the 365, at the end of the workout, I had one of the young men who always spot me and didn't have that issue. So let me go out and see if there's anybody who can spot me today. I think the young kids are in school. I think the older generation already popped out.
Huh. Jacob, CNN fake news. Well, anymore, all news seems to be fake. I mean, remember the old adage, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you say.
I'm ready. So I am live streaming if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the way I like to have somebody behind me.
Yep.
Not that I need it, but it's easier for you to slow it down than have to pick it off my chest. You know what I mean?
What do you do?
All right,
Just
Mac.
one?
One or two. See how the first one feels.
Or you?
Thank you.
There you go.
Let me know if you need another one.
I will. Thanks.
Okay.
Push it up, way up.
That felt good. I usually rep it more than 2, but that's just how I was feeling today. And sometimes you got to do that. Like I said, any workout's a good workout. I'd rather be here pushing weights than, sitting on the couch, flipping through the channels. Generally during the day before I go to work, I'm pretty active. If I'm not out in the garden, I'm working on the lawn, trimming trees, throwing a discus, lifting weights. Generally between about 8 a.m. and noon, I'm pretty much solid activity. On the 2 days that I worked the 10-hour shifts, which I'm not doing next week, needed a break. It's
Well,
time
see,
for showers.
One of the benefits for me from working at home is I'm at work, but I get to interact with you.
Mm-hmm. And there's going to be more and more of that because it makes sense. You have
honestly,
the ability to connect. It does. Yeah. You have the ability to connect. A lot of those times, the information doesn't take, interperson communication, but there are times when a face-to-face is needed.
Yes.
Especially like Twitter. I would like to have those be face-to-face. Because,
Well, if you look at the job that I do,
on a keyboard. But my wife taught off the computer. Taught second grade for, about 6 months during the, C-19 thing. But the kids suffered not being in a school. And you look at the states or cities that closed down for the longest, their students are having the biggest problems in math and sciences.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big proponent of online schooling for grade school. Just because grade school, that's where you're learning your social interactions with other people. So I'm not a big fan of that. But when it comes to businesses, like what I do, it makes more sense for the state to pay me to work from home than to pay
Right.
me to go into an office, because now they have to worry about that office, you know, the rent,
Right.
the utilities,
You
the
don't have to pay the
maintenance.
rent on the office. You don't have to pay the insurance on the building. You don't
They don't have to pay for the
maintenance
internet.
on the building. Right. So yeah, in that way it does, and that's going to become more and more common. And I think it makes sense. It allows you to diversify. That you're not limited to somebody who happens to be in your area. You know, you can be hiring anybody anywhere in the country. So I know my daughter and son-in-law, you know, they work for a company that supports Intel, and a lot of times they can take care of the programming right from their house. But there are times they got to go in there and they got to physically work on the tooling. They were both nuclear power for the Navy, and you know they make a great living. And now she's going to have a kid, so I told him life is going to change. I said because your world is going to be revolving around the child, where before your world revolved around you and your husband. And I can still remember the change when my wife and I started having children. Just how your priorities evolved. And, you know, for 25 years, our world revolved around the kids. And then when they finally all left, there was about a year and a half, 2-year adjustment period. Now what do we do? You know? But we figured it out. And now with the grandkid coming, we got more reasons to go out to Arizona. But I'm thinking more during the months of like December, January, and February.
Yeah, you don't want to come to Arizona during the summer. The 4 months of
Oh,
summer.
We did. We were there in July.
Oh, God.
You know,
July, August, even now September.
well, they got
you know,
they got married in August, but it was up in Flagstaff. Flagstaff's a lot cooler.
yeah, it's gonna go 20 to 30 degrees cooler on
Right.
average.
But you know, up in Flagstaff, none of the places had air conditioning. I'm like, are you kidding me? But so we stayed up there at the Air Force resort base up there because my daughter was in the Air Force, so we were able to do that, and that was really nice. They had an outdoor wedding; it worked out perfect. You know, really good time. Couldn't ask for better. But when I was there in July, there in Sunrise Beach or something like that, or whatever it is, just hotter than hell. 114 degrees. Yeah, I get out of the car, I'd be sweating before I got to the gym, work out in the gym, and you know, shower, and then I'd be sweating before I got back in the car.
Yeah.
And no, there was no being outside during the day. It was just too friggin' hot. So yeah, I'm not a fan of I don't care if it's dry heat. It's 114 degrees. Not a fan.
Yeah, people say dry heat until you
But it's not that
actually
dry anymore.
deal with it.
Yeah. The dry heat, yeah. I'm sure it's pretty dry on the surface of the sun too, but it doesn't mean I want to be there.
Right. Yeah, like I said, people say dry heat until they actually experience it. Then they change their tune real quick. I would definitely rather deal with humidity than dry heat.
Yeah. I mean, you'll adjust to anything you get to. I did live in Florida for 3 years, but it was hot and humid. I didn't like Florida. My comfort level's 650, 60, 70 degrees. You know, that's where I start feeling better. Yeah, boy, this thing's not updating at all. It's funny, I'll pop back onto my YouTube channel, and it's about 6-7 second delay. So I can move around, do something, come back, and watch me move around and do something. But hey, if you're in chat, go ahead and say hello and that. I don't know if Angry Pepper is going to make it back on. I don't know how long that bus ride or train ride is going to be.
Well, yeah, he said he was headed towards some type of an event
Right.
rally.
he stays busy. And like I said, creators like that, like Angry Prepper and Gray Man and Alaska Prepper, Prepper Nation. I can just feel for the amount of work they put in their channels because doing premieres and stuff like that is a lot of preparation.
Oh,
And
doing
at this
a
time, I
live
don't
would be a whole
I don't
lot.
have the time to do that. I mean, live to me, I'm really good at impromptu. But actually, when I was doing the series on vitamins and minerals, one day I would research everything, take down notes, and the next time I wouldn't do the presentation. But the sort of presentations, the information that they put out there, I know it takes a lot of their day. But me working 8-10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, just doesn't give me the time to do it. So I try to incorporate as much as I do. In life. There we go. Let's get the down here.
Not only just the preparation part. I mean, the preparation, the research takes a while, but if you get into doing like the video editing, like I was doing there for a little bit, you're increase your amount of time because you're doing so much. It's a production. It really is a production.
Well,
And
it is. It's a production and it's a lot of work. And like I said, I can appreciate for what they do. Like I said, they're far busier than I am. I'm gonna try to see if I can get the weight on here. I forgot to bring my stand again. I gotta move out of the way here. Well,
believe it or not,
there we go.
I'm actually getting ready to restart the channel or restart a new channel with somebody else, and we're going to be doing at least a weekly joint thing.
Oh yeah, because I used to watch you in the morning, and then it was kind of nice because of the time difference. You would,
I enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed YouTube up to the point where I had to deal with the bullshit from others, and then it just got too much.
I remove those people once they get to be an issue. I had one that, and I finally warned him because he wasn't trollish all the time, but he started getting more and more, and I just told him, "You're starting to get a little too trollish. I have a button for that. So you might want to rethink your next comment." Well, next day it was another stupid comment, and so I just blocked them. So I mean, if you have an opinion about something and it's different with mine, that's fine. I'll discuss that with you. But when you're starting to say stupid stuff in that, I'm like, okay, bye.
Well, a lot of it, I think, was just that people at that point, even a couple months ago, had way too much time on their hands. I mean, we're still recovering from the BS, and they had too much time on there.
Yep, there is that. Let me just start.
Kind of irked me because I got one person started in raising quail. I mean, she was watching me. She started raising quail, and she's enjoying it now. That made me feel good that I was able to change somebody to raising their own livestock, their own eggs.
I'd probably like to do that here sometime in the future, but it's going to have to be when I retire. When I'm working a regular job, I got too many things. I got too many hobbies as it is. Tomorrow, I'm going to go visit a blacksmith and see about start forging a blade.
Yeah, I want to see you do that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take my equipment with me. I don't know if I'll be able to live stream it because we're down in a valley, but I'll do some videos and post them when I get to internet. I can't post it at home because it's just too slow. A 5-minute video will take hours to upload if it does. And when I go to work, I got a perfect 5G and I can upload in minutes. So I take the videos during the day, and then at work I upload everything.
You may
Probably why I'm not doing a lot of editing. Let me go find me a spotter again.
Okay.
Second. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a young man come over and spot me again, and then he's gonna have to go. He was doing some weighted dips, which was pretty cool. You know, he had two 45-pound plates on a belt that he was doing dips with. And I used to do those, and I need to get back doing that. There's a lot of things that I used to do in the gym that I'm not really doing anymore. And I'd like to get back into it, and that's why I like coming to the gym, because then I'll see someone like that doing that exercise, have it done, and then it'll remind me to come back and do it. So 385, go give it a ride, and see where I go from there. It's always a slow on the way up, so unless I call for it. Thank you. You're welcome. This bench is almost not wide enough.
It's a skinny one.
Yeah.
The old one was a lot better.
So a lot of times I have to balance myself because of the bench. The equipment will change in what you can lift. I know at Shorewood they have a little bit better benches, and I can bench about 10 pounds more there, just because I'm better braced. Batman, you still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here for a minute or two.
Yeah. I think I'm missing most of my viewers. I think they kind of got. We might have got myself in trouble going on that 2A rant.
Yeah, that.
Because usually that's not what I do this channel for, but obviously that's how I feel about it. I think most everybody that follows me feels the same way. So I don't think I alienated anybody.
Nothing triggers people more than 2A and religion.
Yep. I had a cousin come visit me. I hadn't seen him in 35 years. Him and his wife and that. And he brought with him like 3 ARs he built, you know. And we're shooting, and it was one of a liberal. I said, well, yeah. So some nice ARs you have. I think we'll kick you out of the club. But we got in discussion of religion, and I said, you know, we really don't know each other. You know, been 35 years since I think maybe I've seen you. But I think religion and politics, stay away from it. Well, they didn't listen. They were highly opinionated. I'm highly opinionated. And his wife seen it kind of going south. She was, oh, I think I left my earrings at the motels. And used the excuse to go for about an hour. And then they came back, and then we got in another one. And it was just, we were definitely on different sides of the opinion poll. And I told him, you guys just don't take me in, do you?
One thing you might want to look into with your internet at home is one of those like boosts or something.
So at home, it's the hotspot.
Right. You can get a Wii boost that'll actually boost the signal.
Available in my area. So I'm so far out the zoning, the satellite's too slow and doesn't cover my area. The digital network in town ends about 3 miles from me. And Starlink, first they said November, now they're saying sometime in 2023.
And Starlink, unfortunately, I've been hearing a lot of negative things about that. It's not apparently people they're saying it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Well, Canadian Proper sat there and tested it and it worked fine. But you know, they're covering the areas where the money is first.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of your business areas are the first ones to get it. And I understand why that is. Place to put the lights. but it may be the only option I have. Because AT&T, I mean, literally, one day I can have a decent signal, and then 5 minutes later it's gone. And it's infuriating.
Well, those signal boosters, such as WeBoost, are supposed to help with that. And I've heard nothing but positive reviews on those. I've had to look it up. Just because where I plan on moving my property up in Alaska is almost dead center in Alaska. So different forms of internet connection in order just to do my job.
Episodes, life below zero.
I haven't.
You ever watch those programs?
No.
All these people that live up in Alaska, and they're
Oh, wait.
the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, I have watched a few.
Yeah, I tried to convince my wife to go up to there, and I got a solid no. She don't like the hot weather. She don't like the hot weather, but she don't like the sub-zero weather either.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a difference up there.
And I'm just getting packed up here. I don't think Jason's gonna make it back, but that's all right. He's a busy guy, and I was kind of surprised when he said he'd pop on, but I needed to answer one of his emails. He sent me an address, and I think what happens, a lot of times you're going to type it on the computer, and you end up hitting the shift key or whatever, it'll pop you back, and then So I'm pretty sure his address is wrong, because I got numbers before and after the street. So
well, I'm just happy that he's found something to keep himself busy. I mean, since he got screwed out of his position, with his job.
Yeah, and then they're starting to learn a lot of things about that, But, that shot, I talked to my new doctor, and he definitely is against the shot. He said, first of all, it's not a vaccine. It's more like gene therapy. And he said there's a lot of bad things. Now, I did have 2 of the shots. Still got the Charlie 19, and it messed me up for a while. My wife had 3 of the shots. She still got it. I had 4 of the shots, and him and his wife still got it.
Yeah,
so,
I got none of the shots, and I got it.
Yeah, and I'm done with the shots. Yeah, I gave him a chance. I mean, like I said, I was in the Army. I had they jabbed me with so many shots, it wasn't funny. But we went overseas, so we had to have things, versus, typhoid fever, diphtheria, and all that other stuff. So, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan.
Appreciate everybody joining. Appreciate everybody joining in. It is time for me to turn into a pumpkin and get ready to. I do want to do some throwing. I'll have those posted, so I get home. I'll throw some discus. Hopefully, I won't beat up the oak tree as bad. I don't know if you watched those, but there's an oak tree about right where I've been hitting that poor tree a lot. It's only when I release it where I'm looking.
At least it's an oak tree. Now, if it was a pine, that might be a different story.
Right, because then you get all that pine sap on it, and I won't be able to let go of it. But I'm glad you got the T-shirt. All right, got there quicker than I thought.
Yeah, it's great.
And I will catch you on the next live, and let me know when we're going to start putting some videos out there again.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start. Like I said, I think things have calmed down. People have gone back to a more daily routine.
Yeah,
not too many troublemakers out there, with all that
Yeah.
extra free time.
Yeah, that's true. I think there's going to be some new stuff to get everybody lit up. But until then, until our next exciting episode on. But
Well-
everybody who joined in, I appreciate it. Batman, thanks for joining in on the live stream. Those that are to talk to you. And I will, I think Tuesday will be my next one. I probably won't do it on StreamYard, but I'll do it on just the regular YouTube. And
Well,
yeah,
it
you
was
can
good
kick
to
that
hang
out of
out
the way.
with you.
Sorry about that. All
I'm
right.
glad
So everybody have a
that
wonderful
Jason was
day.
able to show up.
I don't think he's going to show up. I think he's
No, I was
busy.
glad
That's
that he
fine.
was able to, even if
Right.
for a short period.
Yeah. Of course, then, the fire engine and police ones had to go by him.
Well, that is New York City, so
Yep, I know. I was up in Chicago, not anything different. All right, brother. Everybody have a
Brother,
wonderful
yeah.
day,
enjoy it.
and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I'll have some videos later on.